Good. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Hour of Power. So excited to have you guys on. And if you're catching the replay because you slept in or it was too cold or for whatever reason you couldn't jump on, hello. I know we have a heap that catch the replay as well. So if I haven't met you, I'm KickAss Kylie, and we are fired up for a exciting Hour of Power team call. But also, we're going into the last 10 days of our $1 promo. So we want to make sure that we've got you guys all set up for success for that. And the number one thing to do that is we need to have a goal, because if we aim at nothing, we're absolutely guaranteed to hit it. So I want you all to just think for a moment, what's your goal between now and the end of the month? And why did you say yes to Dream Trips? Ultimately, what's the vision that you had, so that you know what we're aiming towards? Because what we do between now and the next 10 days over the end of the month could literally set you up for success. And we know that with what our team did in the 3 weeks of this promo in April, we put in nearly 400 people just in that 3-week time frame. And if you do the math on that, let's just make it 400 times 4, 400 times 8, or somewhere in between. That's a really great residual income. So if we do that in 3 weeks at the beginning of this promo, we can all do that over this next 10 days. And we're here to set you up for success. So we've just had a leaders call, and we think we've got an exciting it's really just getting back to basics, but we've got a strategy that as leaders, we're actually going to be doing, and we want to give you guys the insights as to what we're doing and invite you guys to join us. So I know that our amazing fun Kerry Fitzpatrick down in cold Nabiac has to jump off shortly to go teach a Zumba class. So Kerry, I'm going to hand over to you first to share your pearls of wisdom. So over to you, beautiful lady.
Good morning, everyone. I'm actually standing in front of the fire because it's so cold here. So thank you for being on. So look, I guess I just want to share, we've all got a reason why we've said yes to Dream Trips. And, we've got to keep that why right at the front of everything we do, because not everyone is going to get your journey. Not everybody is going to understand why you've chosen to have Dream Trips as your business, as your point of travel. So I really just want to remind you that when you reach out to people, if you do it from the heart, if you really believe that you're helping someone, and we have got an amazing opportunity, if you do it the right way, they're going to come back, and it's normally going to be thank you, but it's not the right time, or, I'm not interested, but it's not going to be personal. But you're going to have those people that aren't going to get it. Let's be honest, okay, because you're going to have your family, you're going to have friends, and they're going, what are you doing? It's a pyramid scheme. It's not going to work. All those people are going to be throwing all of this at you, but you're doing this for a reason. You're doing this because you want it to change your life. For whatever that is, that has got to be stronger and bigger than anything that's going to be thrown at you, because it actually doesn't matter what they think at the end of the day. Because when you're successful, when you're living the dream, when you're traveling, you're doing what you want to do, you can just wave to them and smile. Big mistake, Kylie and I would say. But I really just want to say, some will, some won't, so what? Okay, so just remember, you're doing this for you, you're doing this for your family, for whatever reason it is. That has to be the most important thing. Not everyone is going to get it. Okay, so whatever your goal is, keep that, your vision board, put it up somewhere, remind yourself why you're in this business. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the others think. And if you do come from your heart, if you really believe you're helping someone with this, it doesn't matter what they come back with, because it will always be okay.
Oh, Kerry, I love your passion. I love when you get fired up, and I know your butt is literally on fire because you're in front of the fire. Pearls of wisdom there. And guys, for those of you who jumped on my call, the DTA training over the weekend, what's your why? What hurts you? And really, that's got to be your driver to take action. And thanks, Kerry. I know you're going to jump off. So important that you're clear on what that is, so that you can actually be in the game. Because what's happened with a lot of people is, for whatever reason, they're sitting on the sidelines. And guys, I don't want you to miss this. Like this $1 promo, we literally have 10 days. And I want you to ask yourself, do you think it's easier to get people started for $1? Or is it going to be easier to get people started for anywhere from 200 to 600? Like, this is the time to run for the next 10 days. So before we talk strategy, I'm going to hand over next to Alison. So Alison has, I'm so proud of you, Al. Like, I know when you started back in the beginning of our pre-launch. Initially you really struggled with this and you had lots going on with, kids and life and all sorts of horrific stuff going in your personal life. But what I love about you is you've just stayed consistent. You've kept sharing. You followed the system. You've plugged into all these calls. And it's so great to see your team growing. So I'm going to hand over to you to share your pearls of wisdom today. Over to Cold Beach, Mia.
Hey, everyone. Good morning. So, yeah, as Kylie said, consistency is really the key. And it doesn't have to be huge numbers. Like for those like me that may not have a huge network, may only have a few, maybe 100 friends on Facebook, just reaching out to a minimum of 10 a day, you're going to see results. Like everything, no one is going to get 100% success at anything they do because there's always going to be the skeptics, the fence sitters. But if you're reaching out to a minimum 10 a day, you're likely to get 1 or 2 conversations from that each day. And out of the end of the week, you're probably going to get 1 yes. It might not seem like a huge amount, but that's 1 yes from being that consistent. If you've got more time, yeah, reach out to more, but making it personal, sharing your why, what it's going to mean for you, how it's going to help from them, being that genuine. So yeah, it doesn't have to be too complex, but just being that consistent every day, reaching out, and eventually you'll get results. It's the same with your Facebook. It takes up to 21 days for people to be starting to see you, noticing you on your feeds. So if you do something once and don't do it again, people are going to miss you. So like everything, we've got to be consistent. You might not see a result straight away with people now, but people will start following you. And it might be down the track, they might have missed this promo and gone, oh shit, I want in. And you might find that they join up at the $200, $600 pack. We don't know. Like I had someone come up and go, look, financially, it's not for me now, but I want to join in 12 months. And I said, well, all right, just so you're aware, it's $1 now. I know financially it's an issue, but if you've got 4 friends or family that want to travel, your membership will be free. Or if you wait 12 months, this is what the membership fee is going to be. And she's gone, oh, all right, I'm going to reach out to family. So I've gone from a definitely not now to a I'm going to reach out. So again, it's just that consistency, being open with them, being transparent, seeing where they're at and being able to help them. But yeah, just having that conversation, using your friends, using your networks, reaching out to new groups, just putting yourself out there. And again, as a neurodivergent, I hated rejection. I hated abandonment. I hated being told no and took it so personally for so long. Whereas now I guess it's at the point, it's like, it's nothing that I've done wrong. It's just not where they are. If they've said something, it's not for them. Just quick apologies. Thanks so much for getting back to me. I understand it's not for you. I'm just reaching out because all my training says I've got to be consistent. And this is one of the trainings we did with Dermot. She said the same. Reach out to 20 people and eventually you get your recruits. And that was across a month. And I've gone, well, I don't want to wait that long. So let's try for the 10 a day. And eventually with that 10 a day, you're going to get the results. So just thank them and keep moving on. So yeah, it does hurt when they say no, but you just got to go, it's not a personal attack on you. It's just them not understanding, not being in a position, and it's not them not supporting you. Because a number of people said, look, I don't travel or it's not for me, but best of luck and I'll pass your details on. So you're going to get that referral network. You're building that relationship. So it's just about taking that time out and doing it. And that's where the 10 o'clock and 6 o'clock I found brilliant. Even if I've got an appointment, I will sit down and I will smash out calls in that day at that time period. So I know that I've done my 10 or 20. And if I've got extra time, I'll do extras. But it's just being that consistent and believing in yourself that you have got this. You have got a passion and you're doing it for a reason. Not everyone's going to understand your reason, but as long as you believe in you, you've got a huge leadership team here and a huge number of others that are all behind you and going to support you to make your dreams happen. So keep believing and keep having a go.
Oh my goodness, Alison, where have you been all my life? I was so freaking proud of you. It's one of the things that I love about this business is just to see people grow. And like hearing you today compared to where you were at, and I know most of you didn't know Alison 18 months ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, like I did, but just hearing your strength and passion and just that leadership, like just so awesome, babe. Congratulations. And it's why you're getting the success that you do. And I love what Kerry shared at the beginning. You know, some will, some won't. So what? Somewhere 6 are wishing, praying, and hoping for us to reach out to them. And I love what Alison has shared. You know, it might not be for them right now, But hey, who else do you know who might be interested? It's just asking that extra layer, that extra question. And often, they'll say, oh, actually, yeah, I do know someone, who might be interested. But it's also having those conversations. If someone says they don't travel, is that because of your current circumstances, or you actually don't like to travel? And it's having the courage to go that extra layer, because usually when people say they don't travel, it's not because they don't want to travel. It's because they actually don't have the time or money to travel. And from a place of love, saying, well, I totally get it, because that was me too. And that's why I joined a travel club, because I wasn't in a position to travel, but I want to be able to travel. And hey, worst case scenario, even if you're on the basic level membership, a standard, after 6 months, like you've paid $350, but you get a free cruise worth $1,000. So worst case scenario, just stay in for 6 months on a standard membership, and you're going to get a cruise for you and your favorite +1. Like, that's amazing, right? So we've got so many benefits to being part of our club. Those monthly fees, it's 3 times the amount that they're accumulating as credit. So you might not be traveling now. Are you going to travel next year? Fantastic. Jump in on the basic level. Their standard's only $70. I'm just going to go 70 times 10 because my math can't do 70 times 12. 700. So 840 after a year. That's pretty good. 840 times 3. And again, I've only had 1 coffee. So whatever 840 times 3 is, let's go 8 3s are 24, right? So that's 2,000. So about $2,500 of credit they're going to have in the member loyalty program to put towards accommodation and condos, plus a free cruise. Like, that's what they're going to have, because those points never expire. And yes, Jeff, that's US, which is amazing. So it's like, well, are you going to travel next year? Awesome. Well, by this time next year, you'll have a cruise, plus you'll have, $3,000 worth of travel credit. It's like a travel savings club, which is pretty damn cool. So I'm going to hand over to the next leader on our team. And it's an absolute honor and a pleasure. And I'm like the proud mama bear right now. Jeff Ross, oh my goodness, again in the top 10 global recruiters this week. So let's all shout some love in the chat. Congratulations to Jeff. And guys, it takes something to get in that top 10 any time of the year. But to get in there right now, especially like our Asian team, like they are putting in hundreds of people. Shush's team last week put in 1,900 new members just last week. And so what we make up in maybe skill, Jeff totally smashes out in activity. And I know that he is consistent and he is having lots and lots of conversations every single day. So I'm going to hand over to our number 1 top recruiter in our team for this month and number 8 global recruiter in the entire company. Over to you, Mr. Jeff Ross.
Wow. Thanks, Kylie. Really appreciate you. And I just want to share with the group today. I suppose I've got one question, and everybody's been asking it, but it's why are you here? What is that thing that's driving you to get out of bed every day? What's that thing that's, helping you to keep going? As Kylie has shared, and for those who don't know my story, like I joined this Australia Day, so January 26th, 2022. So I was one of the pioneering, founding got people here to start off with this to bring it back to Oceania and now the globe. But I sucked at this for the first 12 months. And I, have been a digital marketer since 2009. I have had a lot of success in a lot of different business models, direct selling, e-commerce, service-based business models. And, I thought I knew what I was doing and try and reinvent the wheel here. But there's 2 key things here that have helped me to have the success. And that's mastering attraction marketing, so social media, and but also action marketing or relationship building. Yeah, so you got to. I really feel that there's 2 key things that you there need to master. But I just want to come back to that thing that kept me going, day in, day out, and it's these calls. It's the global connect. It's staying charged up each week. Like we're a mobile phone. If we don't get our charge, our refill, then yeah, we're going to die. We're going to fall off. And if we don't get our warmth by the fire, our fire's going to go out. So we've got to stay plugged in. And that's probably one of the key ingredients that, you know, been very, very grateful for my relationship with Kylie, because we were in business together with other things as well. But, you know, I just kept showing up, you know, like I heard Mark Smith saying there the other day, like I'm starting to get recognized on the global team's radars, even before I was getting on the recruiters list, because I showed up every week for the last 18 months. And that's what I encourage every single one of you to do is, first off, figure out why you're here. You know, you got to figure out what is that fire inside you. What's that burning desire that you want to get out there and make it, you know, make this work for yourself, whatever that is. Even if you've got success in other areas of your life, why are you here? Like, is it because you want to help other people, or is it because you want to change your own life? Whatever that is, you got to figure that out and get really crystal clear on that visualization, that picture. And then every time you show up to one of these calls, it's like a jigsaw piece of the puzzle. You know, every time that you connect in, you plug in, you're receiving another piece of the puzzle, another piece of the puzzle, another piece of the puzzle. And then you're getting closer to be able to, you know, making that visualization of your life a reality. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to share today. And that's why I am having the breakthrough that I am, because I kept plugging in. And I don't know what it was. It must have been the fall down the stairs at Easter time or something like that. But something just shifted, something just jolted. And it's like my breakthrough happened. It's like I need to have that bit of that break. You know, Kylie says this all the time. You got to have the breakdown to have the breakthrough. Maybe that was just the crux of my breakdown, fall down those stairs and then have the breakthrough. But I kept pushing. And the only reason I kept pushing is because I kept plugged in. The only reason I kept plugged in is because I have this fucking burning desire to change my life. And, you know, I don't normally swear. I am a man of God. So me for to drop that F-bomb, it's, yeah, let's go. I love you all for being here. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for plugging in. And I just can't wait. Like I love seeing Magical Man's down here. She's another one that's plugged in and has been struggling at this for a while. But just this last week or two, she's been having breakthrough because she's been plugged in. And Alison, same reason. Yeah, the only reason you're having the breakthrough that you're having is because you've been plugged in. Every single one of us that ever has anything to do with anything, that wins at anything, is because they're plugged in.
I love it, Jeff. And before you stop sharing, and this is kind of going to roll into the strategy for our group for the rest of the promo. We've heard it over and over again. Like, people just tend to overcomplicate things, and a confused mind takes no action. And so today, our goal is to simplify the bejesus out of this thing and show you how freaking easy it is. Like, we're going to share the secret to success. And again, on the DTA, DreamTrips Academy call, you know, we had Mark shared the secret to this. Are you ready? The secret to this is sharing the 5-minute video. And the person who shares the 5-minute video to the most amount of people is the one who's going to build the biggest team the fastest. So our job literally is to share the 5-minute video with as many people as we can. But disclaimer, the challenge is we also don't want to be salesy and spammy, because nobody likes that, right? So it's finding the balance, which is why we've spent a lot of time in this last week with our team in talking about your why, what hurts you, because the secret sauce, so the secret is sharing the 5-minute video with as many people as fast as you can. The secret sauce is you. It's your story. And, you know, I popped in the chat when Jeff was talking, because he said, you know, you've got to find that why. What's your burning desire? And a lot of you actually need to go have a look in the mirror, and you need to have an honest conversation with yourself, because a lot of you, and I'm sharing this, and you know me, KickAss Kylie, I'm going to tell you what you need to create success and produce results. And sometimes I'm going to kick your ass, but know that it comes from a place of love. A lot of us have either got our head in the sand or our head in the clouds. And we're like, you know, no, my life's great, I'm fine. But the fucking reality is you don't have enough money to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do. Or you can't travel, or you can't do whatever the things are that you want because you don't have time, because you're sucked by, you know, a job or a business or whatever it is. And a lot of us gloss over the, oh, no, my life's great. I'm happy. I don't need money, whatever your story is. But that's not the truth. And that's why you're all here. So let's all actually have, and I'm there too, right? Like, gosh, I'm going back to hospital with my son tomorrow. And, we're going to be in there for 2 weeks. And so I'm like, man, like, financially right now, that's like a huge impact on me, and that's why I'm doing this. Number one is to create financial freedom as a single mom, to be able to provide for my kids and travel and do all the things that, most families do on 2 incomes. So, and I'm going to be really honest, like that's my number one driver right now. But I also freaking love travel. I want to give my kids experiences, not things. I want to be able to renovate my beautiful little tree house here, because as much as it's great that we've got a roof over our head, like it's a reno, like it's not where I want it to be. And, there's so many things that are going on in my life, and it's always like, far out when I get that next level of income, we can do this, we can do that. So guys, like you've got to get angry. You got to get fired up on the inside, but we've also got to get out of our heads and into our hearts and bring this back to basics. It's literally sending a 5-minute video. Like this business is so freaking simple, and we're overcomplicating the crap out of it. And so the other thing is we're here to help and support you. As Jeff said, you got to plug in. You got to plug in. So I acknowledge each and every one of you because you've plugged in this morning. You're here on these calls. And, we committed as a team, as a leadership team, that we would give you guys as much support as we have. So we've created our Fast 30. So at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., Monday to Thursday, that's 8 calls for 30 minutes where you can jump on and join us. And in those calls, we're going to be just reaching out to people with a heartfelt message and sharing the 5-minute video. So that's what those calls are about. So if you're serious and you want to build passive income, I want you to have a look in your calendar and go, right, how many of those calls can I be on? Because I don't want you guys to miss this next 10 days, because that's what's going to happen if you don't actually commit. If it's not in the calendar, it's not going to happen. So 10 a.m. is literally 2.5 hours from now, for those of you who are in different time zones. And then, of course, we've got 6 p.m. So figure out what calls you're going to be on, because I know myself, when I jump on those calls and you're with other people and you're sending out messages, like the other day, I think there were only 4 of us on one of the calls that I led. And between us, we sent out 38 messages. Like, so simple. And again, as Alison shared, like when I shared this with Jeff, 8 years ago. And he said no, because it just wasn't the right timing for him then. He was doing another business, and that's okay. And I was really great with him, and I maintained our relationship. And then when I did that attraction marketing post on my wall back on Australia Day, he's like, I'm in. I'm not missing out, because I've been watching your journey over the last 8 years. I had a lady who reached out to me yesterday from the US, and she saw my why video, because, when you show up as vulnerable, you give other people permission to do the same. And she said, I was watching your video with tears streaming down my face, because it was like you were talking about me. That was my life. Like I could so connect with you. And she's actually in another company, but, and she messaged me and this is what she said. She said, Kylie, I'm just not happy. I want to have experiences with my kids. I want to make memories. I'm working my ass off. And yes, I get paid well, but I have no time. And her husband had said to her, like, if you could do anything, what would you do? And she said, if I could get paid to travel and help other people, that would be a dream come true. And then literally the next day, she sees my video and says, oh my goodness. And, she's just getting started today. So, it's incredible. And people might not join now, but they are going to watch you. But it all comes back to reaching out from the heart and taking action. So Jeff, I'm going to get you to share, because obviously you are the master at reaching out and starting conversations and sending the video the most amount of times. So I would love for you to share, what are you saying when you reach out to people? What's the video? Like, just to kind of give everyone an insight as to what's had you be the number one recruiter.
Yeah, happy to. Well, there's reasons why I've got people like Brian Mills here on the call today. It was like if I'd reached out to Brian straight away and tried to pitch him straight away, I would have scared him off. But I built a relationship, and I understand that, you know, Mark's just said, you know, Kylie just said, you know, go share the video as many times as you can, but it's got to come from that heart. It's got to come from like, why are you sharing the video? Just don't spam people. We're not spammers here. We're relationship builders first. We want to bring it back to the heart, have a heart-to-heart conversation, and then share the video. Now, some of us, like Kylie, she has a gift with words. She's mastered her art, and she'll probably be able to share that video very, very quickly. And there's some of us who are just starting out, who stumble over our words, and every second word we feel like we're, you know, tripping over our tongue. We've just probably got to do it our pace. That's what I love about this business model. You can do it your way. You can do it your, you know, your pace. And yeah, as Kylie just said, the key is not to overthink it. We've got this awesome little tool at the moment that I actually, no, I won't mention that. Mention that another time. But you just want to, yeah, I suppose, detach from the results. Don't focus on the results. Focus on the action. If you come from your heart and really wanting to make an impact to the world, and just focus on the actions and then get out of your own way, you'll be pleasantly surprised on what you see happen. I think that was probably one of the key things for me, is I had to detach myself from the results and just get out of my own way and go out there and have at least 500 conversations. Now, I realize that we've got 10 days to do that. 500 conversations for some people is probably going to be a big, tall ask. But if you go out there and have 100 conversations, I bet you'll have, be pleasantly surprised about the results. I don't know what those results are going to look like. It could mean 2 people join your team. It could mean 20 people join your team. But just get out there. Don't focus on the results. Just focus on the actions. Just have fun with this. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, superstar. Just have fun. And then if you know that you're coming from your why and your big burning desire, every no that you get, so what? Move on. Every little bit of nasty comments you get, so what? You're going to get them. Slap them off. I love that when Kylie, I think she created a whole new dance step there on the DTA call. It was called the Mozzie Slap Dance. Just slap them off, move on. You're not getting in my way of me achieving my goal. But hey, if you want me to help you achieve your goals, I'm here to help you. And it's really coming from that conviction. Oh, I got goosebumps. It's really coming from that conviction. When you speak from your heart, nothing can get in your way. And then it's just go out there and share it with the world, loud and proud, share it with passion, share it with pride. And I really feel that it's an injustice not to share this. That's my conviction. Like, I truly believe in the product. I believe in myself. I believe in the company. And I believe that this is going to change people's lives. But I didn't have those 4 beliefs when I first started. I had to borrow some of Kylie's belief. So that's my encouragement too. If you're just starting out, you don't believe in yourself, that's okay. We believe enough in you. And reach on your person who brought you here. They believe in enough in you. So, let them, pick you up. And by the time you go out there and share this with 100 people, I guarantee you believe in yourself and you'll believe in the product. You'll believe in the company and you know that this is helping people. And it's when you get that conviction, it really becomes an injustice not to share this with the world. So there's a reason why I had a conversation with Brian Mills and I answered every single question that he threw at me. And, it took me 3 weeks to get Brian across the line. But there's a reason why I was persistent. There was a reason why I just was friendly. I just answered his questions with love. And yeah, that's what you do, right? When people open the door, you walk in, you answer the question. If they close the door on you, okay, move on. Someone else is going to open the door for you. But that doesn't come from without having that strong conviction. So get that conviction first and then just go out there and get this. Let's go.
Oh my goodness. Same as you, Jeff. Like, my gosh, I compare you to 18 months ago and I don't even know who you are anymore. Like, just so much passion and inspiration and leadership and strength and conviction and just, absolutely love you, buddy. Thank you for sharing. And one thing I want to just add on to what Jeff shared, And I love, he talked about the 4 beliefs. It's belief in yourself, it's the belief in the product, it's belief in the company, it's also belief in the network marketing industry, because a lot of people have blocks around that. And, you have to have those 4 beliefs. And, when you start, you don't have those. When I first started 8 years ago, I hated network marketing. I never wanted to be one of those people. Like, I had this whole judgment because I didn't understand the industry. But that's where you also want to use your 3-way chats. So pop your peeps as soon as they've got questions. All you got to do is go, that's a really good question. I don't know the answer, but hey, let me pop you in a 3-way chat with Chris Cummins, or with Jeff Ross, or with Kerry, or with Alison, or myself, or Kiara, or Lee, or Diane, or one of the other top leaders. And then let us who do have the belief and that knowledge and experience to be able to support you. And that way and then you just hand it over. And I know last week we spent a lot of time on edification and explaining how to do that. So we're not going to cover that off again in this call, but essentially, it would be something like, if you're going to edify myself, look, Kylie's been a part of this for 8 years. She's one of the top global leaders in the company. She's been on a heap of trips. She's on a massive team. She's crushing this. Like, and then that's the business side. Then personally, like, whatever your relationship is with me. So like, if I was going to refer Jeff from the personal perspective, look, I've known Jeff for 14 years. Like, he's just got the biggest heart of anyone I know. He's an amazing dad. He's an amazing husband, and he's one of my best mates. So, you're in really great hands with Jeff. So I've talked the business, but then I've also given, the personal, how I deal with him. So you want to edify your person, pop them in a 3-way chat, and then zip it, lock it, put it in your pocket, let your leader do the rest. Right? So if you bring a leader in and you edify them, don't then keep jumping in and talking over them, because that's not going to work either. You've brought your leader in for a reason. Now let them go to work for you. That's what we do, is we work as a team. So guys, for me, I'm heading off to Brisbane tomorrow. And I'm starting a 2-week hospital stint with my gorgeous little boy, who's not well. And so I really had to, and I felt sick to the stomach of like, oh my goodness, like, we're running out of time with this promo. And so I sat down with the leaders today and said, right, we need a strategy for myself and the team of how can we do this in the fastest possible way and keep it really super simple. So KISS, keep it simple, superstar. And so exactly what we've been sharing on this call, I have gone through my Facebook friends list. And whilst I've reached out to a lot of them, I haven't reached out to all of them. So I'm actually going to start with A, and I'm literally just going to go through. And my mission, and obviously you need to make sure you don't go into Facebook jail either, but my mission is to reach out with a heartfelt message to every single one of them. I'm going to, when I get to hospital, take a photo of me and Zach and say, hey, I'm sitting here in the hospital, and, I see we're connected on Facebook. I'm going to start a connected conversation, and I'm also going to share the video, because the person who shares the most 5-minute videos wins. And I'm going to come from a place of love and share why this is important to me. And I want all of you to join me in something today. And this is going to be a little bit funny, but I used to be a girl guide. And for the boys on the call, it's okay. You don't have to be a girl guide. You can be a Boy Scout. And I made a promise as a girl guide. And part of my promise was to do my best and to help other people. And that's a pretty cool promise to make, right? Like, I made that promise as a brownie guide when I was 5, and then a girl guide when I was 10. I promised that I'll do my best and help other people. I think that's a pretty cool promise to live by and to create as a philosophy. So would love to all of you to pop in the chat. I promise to do my best and help other people. So between now and the end, and obviously you can create that promise for the rest of your life, but let's all make that promise, and let's live into that promise that I made as a girl guide for the rest of this month. I promise to do my best and help other people. And with that, how many people are you committing to reach out to a day as a bare ass minimum? And I would like to think the bare ass minimum is 10, because 10 will literally take you 5 minutes. So I think, everyone should be able to reach out to at least 10 people a day between now and the end of the month. So I promise to do my best and help other people. And as part of that, I'm going to reach out to however many people a day. And then we've got those calls to support you. So those 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. calls, Monday through Thursday, Friday morning, we've got our DTI connection call, which is with our top, with the owners and our top global leaders. So that's run by corporate. And then Friday morning at 10 a.m., when the leader jumps on, I completely screwed up this week. I was supposed to be the person running the global presentation call, and I'm getting all these messages. Are you supposed to be running the call? I'm like, no, I'm not running the call. You run the call? I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm supposed to run the call. Sure enough, it wasn't in my calendar. So the lesson to that is we all fuck up from time to time. Don't beat yourself up. It happened. Dust yourself off, do the Mozzie slap dance, get back in the game, and then just recommit. And so what is it that you're committing to? But the other key lesson for me not being on that call is it wasn't in my calendar. If it's not in the calendar, it's not going to happen. So thank you everybody for, yeah, exactly, Jeff. It's like, it's owning it, right? Like take responsibility. It's my fault. I didn't put it in the calendar. I apologize profusely. I kicked my own ass, but then I had to stop feeling sorry for myself and get over it and get back in the game and take action again. So, you know, again, Mozzie slap dance, like it's done. I fucked up, own it, and then move forward. So now what you want to do is make sure in your diary, so whether you use your phone, your calendar in your phone, whether you're a pen and paper diary, actually mark out between now and the next 10 days, when are you going to plug in your time for DTI? And then I want to come back to what we talked about at the very beginning of this call. What was your vision? Why did you say yes to Dream Trips? What is it that you want ultimately? And then what's your goal between now and the end of the month? So between now and the end of the month, you know, my personal goal was for all of our top leaders in our team, because you all fall under one of them, is to have all of our leaders with 1,000 people in their team, because 1,000 people in your team is 10K a month. And we are the 10K club, right? It's our mission to help 10,000 or more people to create a passive income of 10,000 or more a month, have 10 amazing dream holidays a year, working less than 10 hours a week, because that doesn't suck. Who else would love to be in the 10K club? Like, if we can help get you set up for success, even if you've only got 100 people in your team between now and the end of the month, that's still an extra $1,000 a month. That doesn't suck. Even if you've only got 10 people between now and the end of the month, if you're starting from zero, hey, those 10 tell 10, you're at 100. Those 100 tell 10, you're at 1,000. And there you are, you're at the 10,000K a month. And I know for every single one of us, when we've got passive income sets you free and will make you happy. When you're free, like, you're happy, right? And then you can help so many more people, because then we can help at a greater level. We've got the time freedom to be able to help support people, and we've got the income, you know. And for me, like, I'm so excited to be able to create these little, I'm calling them villages, for single parents, you know, after they separate, when, you know, you're going through this trauma and you don't have the finances, you know, to create really cost-effective, like little eco villages, so that, you know, you've got somewhere that's safe. There's a community to support you, to be able to help you get back on your feet. Like, that's something that's really dear to my heart, knowing, you know, how much trauma and the impact that separation has, especially on kids. And so, you know, that's something that I'm really passionate about, and that's part of my why. But I need the income to be able to support my, you know, my big vision, my big goal. And it takes no more energy to think bigger than it does to think smaller. And, you know, whatever you aim at, well, you're guaranteed to hit it. If you aim at nothing, you're guaranteed to hit it. And so that's my ultimate vision. But the first step is, you know, 10K a month. And then the next step is, you know, 100K a month. Ultimately, I want to make $1 million a month. And it's not about the money. It's with that money, what can I do with it? And then I can have, you know, how many people do you know are homeless right now because of the housing crisis that we have here? And it's not just here, it's all over the world. You know, for me to be able to, you know, help subsidize housing for people who are in a challenging situation, so that every person has a home, you know, that really speaks to my heart. And I can't do that if I'm not making a shit ton of money. So it's not about making $1 million a year. It's about what's the impact that we can make. So with that said, I'm just going to open up for questions. If anyone has any questions, this is your time. Don't be scared. This is a safe place and there's no silly question except for the one that you don't ask. So is anyone have any questions? Does anyone need any particular support? Jeff, over to you.
Just want to premise it out there. So like we've basically given you a goal to go out and reach out to the people. And I'm not sure if I'm jumping ahead here or not, but I'll just say it anyway. If you want any help crafting a message, please just reach out. We're here to help you to do this. And we, those of us who have spoken to, a couple of thousand people already, we sort of know what the right words to say.
And what not to say.
And what not to say, right? I learned that the hard way. Trust me, I got a lot of slaps across the face.
Yeah.
So, reach out. Just reach out for help.
And a really good example of that, and I know our team chat can be very yellow and mellow sometimes because, everyone's sharing in there. And look, that's okay. But I know for those who are like red blues, it's like, oh my goodness, like we're going to start singing Kumbaya in there. But we've had people in that chat who have not had any success. And then I've helped them, like they've put their message in the chat. We've helped them craft the message. And Trish is a classic example of that. Like she was really struggling in the business. And then all of a sudden, like now she's got people watching the video and she's been able to get through because we're able to help her craft that message. So my suggestion would be go back to your leader. And what I do when I'm crafting the message for people is I just come back to why did you join? Like really, like honestly, why did you join? Why are you here? What do you want for yourself and your family? And then I basically just reword that. And then I transition. So you share your why. And then so it's you. So for example, it would be then, and I was looking for a way that obviously whatever it is that you're looking for. And I'm so excited. I found this incredible little travel club. And, I've got literally a 5-minute video that explains it. And this 5-minute video is changing lives all over the world. And I don't know where you're at in your life right now, but are you open? Are you open? Those 3 words. Are you open to watching a real short 5-minute video that I'm really excited about and I think could actually change your life too? And it's just keeping it simple. Are you open? There's not many people that say no to that if you say, are you open? Because what's the opposite of being open? It's closed. No one wants to be closed. So are you open? It's a 5-minute video, like literally 5 minutes. And I even say to people, like, just take your phone next time you go to the loo. Watch it when you're on the loo. I don't care. Everyone has 5 minutes a day, right? It's not a big deal. So cool. Renee has got a question. Do you ask permission to share your why with? No, I just share it, Renee. Yeah. If someone gets upset with me because I'm sharing their why, they're not someone I want in my life. Just straight up. And remember too, like you are going to get those mozzies. And it's no reflection on you. It's just where they're at in their life at the moment. Like I've got a lady who I love with all of my heart. She was like my little sister, and I reached out to her last year, and she was going through a separation, which I didn't know. She had a newborn baby, and for all of us parents who've had newborn babies, like the stress levels go up because we're tired and emotional, and you've got this thing that cries all the time, and half the time you don't know what it needs and wants. It's just like, and it's like, oh my gosh. So she had a newborn. She was going through separation. She was, having a lot of challenges herself. And I just reached out with the same kind of message that I'd sent all the people like Jeff, who said, oh my gosh, like, thank you so much for reaching out. Like, this is, life-changing. And yeah, exactly. Postnatal depression. Like, how many people are dealing with that, right? And she's still not talking to me. Now, that it makes me sad because she's a beautiful human, but I didn't take it personally because I know that's just where she's at right now. Yeah. And, I know someone else that reached out to her and she got cranky because you're part of that thing with Kylie, like, and it was just all this. But and there's a really cool analogy, and I'm going to hope I get this right. If I've got a cup of coffee and I spill that cup of coffee, what's going to spill out as coffee? If I'm holding a cup of water and I spill that cup, the water is going to go everywhere. So when stuff happens to you, whatever's going to come out is what's inside of you right now. And for some of us, when we get rocked, there is hate and spite and anger and stuff that comes out because that's just the space that you're in at the moment. But it doesn't make that person a bad person. Like, let's all come from a place of compassion and love and understanding and stop judging people that's just where they're at right now. And, sharing are you open to watching a little 5-minute video that's changing lives all over the world? If someone says no to that, that's okay, because that's just where they're at right now. And it's no different to if you go out for dinner. After you've had dinner, what happens? The waiter comes and asks you a question. What do they say? Would you like to see the dessert menu? And you say yes or no. If you say yes, the waiter gives you the menu. Are you open to watching a 5-minute video? Yes, great. Here's the link to watch the video. If you're out for dinner and the waiter says, would you like dessert? And you say, no, thank you. Does the waiter go, oh, that's it, I'm going to quit my job. Restaurants don't work. Desserts are a scam. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. Go to the next table. So stop getting so stressed about if people saying no. Like, just love on them. Be great with them. It's okay, because it's just not the right time for them right now. And then go share it with another 10 people. Like, that's it. This business is so... Renee's like, heck yeah, give me the cake. Just on that, oh my goodness, I had a conversation with the lady who's organizing the Fraser Island dream trip yesterday. Wait till you see what we have on the dessert menu for our farewell dinner. Oh my gosh. And it was so hard. There were like 8 choices and we had to pick 2. It was an alternate drop. Oh my gosh. The food that we are going to have on our Fraser Island dream trip. It's a dream. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just so excited because like just the dessert was insane. So I'm not going to give it away, but I'm just going to say it's going to be freaking amazing. All right. Did I answer all the questions? I got a bit carried away there. Jeff, are we all good? Yeah, everyone's giving me a thumbs up. Amazing. Okay. Yes, Renee, I promised I'm not going to share, but I am really excited that the next Aussie one, we actually want to announce it at the Fraser Island trip. So that's one thing that we do when you are on a dream trip. We like to launch the next one because you book a dream trip from a dream trip. So another advantage when you go on dream trips is you get the first option or you get a heads up of what's coming next. I do want to give you guys a little heads up though on a really exciting Aussie dream trip that's coming up. We are planning a New Year's Eve dream trip in Sydney, and it is going to be epic. So there's going to be a Harbour Bridge climb. Of course, there'll be like all the fireworks in Sydney. It's just absolutely incredible. Brian, for you, we're actually going to have a New Year's Eve party all over the world. So if you don't get to the Sydney one, we will have them. Basically, what we're going to have is a global New Year's Eve party. I probably shouldn't have shared that, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up to know that we've got some really freaking cool, exciting stuff that's in the works. And if just have that as a goal, right? Like, I just need to make passive income to be able to book and pay for this epic New Year's Eve party with my dream trips family in Sydney, because that is going to be epic. But there is another trip in between Fraser, which is next month in June. Obviously, that's going to be December for New Year's Eve. We do have a really exciting one between the two somewhere in Australia. So I'm a bit excited about that one as well. All right, guys. Well, look, I think that's it. So thank you everyone for logging in today. And here's my request, before you go back into life, because, you get off these calls, you're all fired up and then life happens, right? Stay wherever you are and send out 10 messages right now. And once you've sent out your 10 messages, and for us leaders who are on the call, we're going to do the same thing because, we have to practice what we preach. You know, that's one of the things that's always pissing me off about this industry, where you have leaders who are telling you to go do stuff and they don't actually do it themselves. Like, that to me is just such an out of integrity. And that's not how our leadership team roll. Anything that we're sharing with you guys, we're sharing it because we've done it ourselves. It's tried and tested, you know? So let's all send out, you can send more, don't let your minimums be your maximums, but let's all send out 10 messages right now. And then I want you to put in the team chat, done, when you've sent your 10 messages. And I've got the comments here, so I'm going to go back and see how many everyone's committed to. And basically in the team chat now, let's all create that accountability structure with each other. Create an accountability buddy. So for example, Brian, I know you joined under Jeff. Have Jeff be your accountability buddy. Mira, you join with me so we can be accountability buddies. We'll connect everybody up. And let's all make sure that our accountability buddy sends out 10 messages a day, and they're going to make sure you send out your 10 messages a day. And let's smash this. Oh, Renee needs to find a friend. Oh my goodness, Renee. Alison, would you be Renee's? Actually,
I was about to say that. Yeah, I'll buddy with Renee because we've got a lot in common from one of our messages we shared.
So if you and Renee can buddy up, that would be awesome. So let's make sure that we've got an accountability buddy. Let's check in with our buddy every day and share to your buddy what your goal is between now and the end of the challenge, so that we're really at end of the challenge, the end of the promo, the end of May. And let's just get into action, guys. But remember, it's simple, it's easy, and let's have fun. Let's go love on people. So I promise to do my best and help other people. So super excited to make this fun. So let's go, team. Mwah. Love you guys. Appreciate you all. Have an amazing weekend. Let's go get this done.